Hey everybody, welcome back to some more early morning barking, talking about BPD and MPD by somebody that has both. As you probably guessed from the title, this is a favorite person episode. And for long-term viewers, I know what you're thinking, right? You're thinking, but Rich, you don't have a favorite person. You've made so many videos about favorite people, and you always come back with, I've done the therapy, I don't have a favorite person. Well, let me tell you, right? I'm full of it, apparently. I didn't know I was. In my defense, I had no idea. But apparently, I kind of really have a favorite person. Yeah, so I'm kind of coming out of a panic attack, anxiety attack that my Apple Watch has been tracking. I might put a little graphic up on the screen to show you my resting heart rate has been a good sort of 10 to 15 beats a minute higher than normal over the last 8 to 10 days. And that basically came about because I realized it was my girlfriend, because basically she told me that she'd be doing something that meant her attention might not 100% always be on me. That's basically the gist of it. That's all you really need to know. Not that it would do anything to in any way affect our relationship at all. I wasn't going to lose anything. She was basically just telling me something fun she wanted to do, perhaps on nights when I'm not there, because we're not together every night, you see. And wow, the panic, right? Now, the reason I'm sort of making this video is not to tell you how to get over this. I've talked a lot about how you get over this. I will sort of come back to that at the end. But what I found fascinating, what I found really interesting is, first of all, I didn't know this situation existed. I didn't know she was my favorite person, right? Nothing untoward or wrong is going on here. Nothing bad has happened. And I just didn't know that she was my favorite person. And the other interesting thing to me has been to experience what I feel like, is almost like every textbook thing of going through favorite person panic. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about, because I've been in there and I've sat in it again. And I thought it'd be good to tell you, because it comes with this unbelievable anxiety of I'm being abandoned, I'm being left, I'm being replaced, I'm being dumped, I'm being forgotten about, I'm not good. Every bit of panic, everything bad is happening all of a sudden. And it's only happening because somebody isn't giving you 100% of their attention. 100% of they're doing something for themselves. They have friends, they have a life, they have things they do. And those things don't revolve around you, which is, let's remind ourselves, totally normal and reasonable, right? That's the ideal way of existing in life, especially in relationships, that you maintain your own identity, that you have things you love and enjoy doing, all that stuff, right? So nothing bad happening, but because someone was doing something about that just, how could you do that to me? Sorry, what? Do that to you? No. That's not what's happening, but that's what it feels like. And that's how I know it's wrong. It's not how I'm meant to feel. This is not a healthy reaction to what I'm being told. This is not a correct feeling right now. So the panic starts, right? And then the catastrophizing comes in. Oh, does the catastrophizing come in? Right. Oh, right. So I'm not seeing you like one night a week. Then that means like soon you're just gonna want another night. And then what is it? Like, I'll just see you once a week, and then you'll eventually forget about me. No, that's not what's happening. That's just what I've decided. That's just some catastrophe. That's the worst case scenario. As I've put it over this last week to people, it's the end of Infinity War. Or is it Endgame? The first one of the End Avengers movie, when Doctor Strange is sat working out all of the endless possibilities of how they can win in this scenario, right? We as people with BPD do that, right? I know every possible route of events that could happen between where we've suddenly found ourselves and catastrophe. I know all of them. I've sat and thought about them all obsessively for hours and hours and hours. And that's how I know it's not a healthy reaction. And the clinginess. Oh, the clinginess. And I'm not, right? You know, we talk about like just, oh, I'm clingy, I'm around all the time. No, I have been literally clinging on, right? Like the baby who doesn't want dad to go to work, so they hold around dad's leg and sit on his foot, and dad has to sort of drag his foot out of the I don't know whose dad that is, it's not mine, but you know, it's a thing. And I felt like that. I'm a 45-year-old man, and I've been physically clinging on to somebody for no reason. Maybe if we were in a plane that was going down, or a boat that was sinking, or trapped in a fire or something like that. I don't know. Maybe some sort of, you know, end of life scenario. Then maybe it might be okay and healthy and normal to cling to somebody. But on Tuesdays, it's not. And that's what I've been like. Panic. And you know, in this week's podcast, and I've realized a couple of weeks ago in a video, I talk about age regression, and this is that stuff. That no, don't leave me, don't leave me, don't leave me on my own. And it's this fear that I cannot cope on my own. Without you here, I'm nothing. I need you here to be something, to exist, to feel loved, to feel wanted, to feel needed. All of that. I need just your attention. Just look at me. That's not a sustainable way for anybody to live their lives. For either of us, actually, who wants to be around that? I don't want to go through it, and I don't want to put someone through that either, right? Because this becomes then restrictive. Like, well, whenever I want some time for myself, are you going to kick off? Are you going to make it so that I can't have that time for myself? That I can't do things for me? Because you need me to be paying you 100% attention all the time, and if you don't, you're going to kick and scream for days? Nobody wants that. BPD and unstable relationships, people. There we go. That's where that comes from. So, I need to deal with this. It's horrible. It's horrible. And like I said, I was going to, you know, I've talked about this a lot. And I've certainly talked about it a lot recently because it was something that I knew I was going through this bit of it, right? That I have let my time for myself go. That I abandoned me, right? And this is a symptom of that. I just didn't know things had gotten this bad, right? But apparently, yeah, things have gotten this bad. And I need my life back. Because when you have your life, you can stand that you're not the center of somebody's world. You can stand that someone else has their life because you understand. And you need time for your life, like they need time for their life. And so, you know, ideally, what if you can plan that time at the same time and you both have time for your lives? And you don't lose anything from each other and that sort of thing. And, you know, that's much healthier stuff right there, isn't it? That sounds much more positive. You know? Oh, you're doing that night? Well, that's my band night. I'm out. That's cool. That kind of thing. No, what, you might be spending time with people who aren't me. With you might what will that result in you spending even less time with me? You know, and that worry and that panic that comes in, and it's horrible and frightening, and what it's all going to end. And it's not. We're a walking self-fulfilling prophecy on legs. That's what we are. And so we get, you know, oh, our favorite person's not around all the time, as they absolutely reasonably should not be. And I'm going to kick and scream about that and be horrible. And I'm going to actually make it so that they don't want to be around all the time anymore. So they won't be. And I'll have been right in the first place. And see, look, I told you it was going to happen. It's like, you did it. We do that. I do that. I've done that. I don't want to do it again. I didn't know that I was potentially able to do it again at this point, but apparently so. Didn't used to feel like this. I really did mean it. All those times I've made videos and said I don't have a favorite person. Really, I really meant that. And there is this added trickiness, right? Because whenever I've made a video about favorite people, and I give this wonderful saintly advice that I give you about how you deal with that, I always say, you know, you need to sort of reduce time. Can you block them for a bit? You know, can you not see them? Can you just do stuff for you? All of that. That's fine if it's someone you just know. This is my girlfriend. I can't block her. I don't want to block her. And I'm not, you know, that's this stuff. Withdrawing, pulling away, that's not an option. This is not a relationship that I want to withdraw from. And doing that would, again, engage that self-fulfilling prophecy thing. So I'm now faced with the task of realizing I have a favorite person and then trying to reduce my emotional reliance on that favorite person without pulling away from that favorite person. Which makes it trickier. So my plan is still to, you know, I need to add more things into my life that are important to me, that are fun for me to do. And I've talked about that a lot. As I say, I've been missing that in my life. It's something that was missing anyway. And so I'm going to try and do this without subtraction, but with addition. You know, I need things for me in my life. I don't have them, so I need to get them. And then I won't feel bad about somebody else having those things too. Which makes sense, doesn't it? I hope that's in some way interesting and informative because, God, it's been a painful sort of 10, 12 days. I hasten to add, I don't do this shit as research for you guys. I don't. It just happens. I'm not that insane. And it's not fun, is it? So if you're in the depths of it, I get it. Pacing up and down, waiting for phone calls. Why won't you text me back quickly? Why aren't you texting me back? I said I love you and it took you half an hour to say I love you too. That means you don't love me anymore. Just mental stuff. And yeah, I've done the training. I'm not that bad. But apparently I need work. So, you know, there you go. Hey, at least I can acknowledge it and get on with it. That's something. You people take care. Hit the like and subscribe buttons. Please, they're below. Like, subscribe, follow for more content. Follow me on Patreon, earlymorningbarking.com. Links to one-to-one sessions if you want to talk about BPD stuff or favorite person stuff with me. We can do that on a one-to-one basis. There's booking stuff on there and ways to contact me and all that kind of thing. You lot take care. Stay safe. I love you very much. Bye-bye.